You put out a very interesting tweet or post on X about a renaissance going on in sports for white athletes. And I know you're not a racial idolater. I think you're trying to make a point to like, hey, everybody's overdosing on black excellence and they're the fourth black person to win the Super Bowl. They're the 28th black person to, make a basket while their eyelashes were falling off and their mother was at home taking care of their baby's mama. And you're mocking that, but you actually make a real point here about what's going on with white athletes. There seems to be a renaissance going on. And you made the point, this is after NBA All-Star Weekend, like, hey, the best dunker in the NBA or in basketball is some white dude, Mac McClung. Best player in the NBA, Nikola Jokic. Highest rated cornerback, the DeJean Cooper with the Philadelphia Eagles. Most popular player in American sports. In my view, you American rookie sport, talking about Caitlin Clark. College basketball's best player, Cooper Flagg. Just kind of goes on and on and on. We are in a renaissance of white athletes, and no one wants to talk about it, but we will here. What do you make of this?
I'll go back to my last point. Sports are about meritocracy, not diversity, equity, inclusion. DEI doesn't need to be in sports. I think the last time we saw a starting white cornerback in the NFL, I think it was Jason Sehorn. I might be off on that, but it's been about a couple decades. But for me, I'll point all these things out. I could care less what the color of the best players and most popular players are. People don't, even though Caitlin Clark's going to say, my white privilege played a role in this, even though it didn't, people like you more than A'ja Wilson because they see aspects of the NBA, an aspect of Steph Curry in you, an aspect of Kyrie Irving in you. You do something in the game that we haven't seen before. People are attracted to that. But for me, obviously, I'm going to throw that first tweet out there. I had a full thread because this is based off of ESPN posting just like you said, black excellence. Jalen Hurts is the fourth black quarterback to win a Super Bowl. Everybody's saying it. You're saying it. TJ's saying it. Everybody's like, yeah, when does it end? 5th? 7th? 12th? Then we start getting into subcategories, like you said, the eyelashes. While somebody, under 6'4" and black won. But I think we need to look at people like Marcus Freeman that they're not bringing up his Asian descent. They're bringing up his blackness. You could be the first black coach to win a national championship in college football. I don't care about white excellence. I don't care about representation in sports. I just want to see the best players play. And I'm attracted, and you're attracted, and everybody listening to the show is attracted to the best players or the most unique players. Like, I loved Michael Vick growing up because he was unique. I've never seen something like that before. I've never been able to play Madden with somebody that seems like he's uncatchable. That's what we are attracted to in sports. And I don't care if ESPN's going to do a segment. I don't want them to do a segment about a white renaissance, white excellence, how whites are somehow taking over sports. I don't care. That's the main crux of the argument.
John, you didn't make this point, but I will, and the point is out there to be made. The real thing that you're pointing out, and again, I don't know the full history of Nikola Jokic, but I think the other people, and I've never done any sort of deep dive or shallow dive on Mac McClung. But when I looked at your post, the real message from that is kids from two-parent households excel at everything, including sports. And the marriage and the nuclear family is undefeated. And so we're used to a lot of single-parent kids dominating sports, and what's happening over time, you look at LeVar Ball and his 3 sons, you just look across the board, what's from Steph Curry, you can take just race out of it from Steph Curry. The best fruit is coming from two-parent households, and it's starting to show up in athletics. It takes a lot of parental support to develop a high-caliber athlete, and it's great when groups like the Young Men's Christian Association, they don't call the YMCA that anymore, but we used to have the Catholic Youth Organization, and all these different evangelical places used to stand in the gap for single-parent homes and help develop these young athletes. And as the country's become more secular and people have started saying, hey, man, there's risk involved with dealing with, they're calling me racist if I provide too much help and all this. And so I think single-parent kids are starting to do less well in organized sports, and the kids from two-parent households are starting to blow past them, and that's the real. I look at Jalen Hurts. Comes from a traditional. I don't think we've had. Everyone wants to talk about authentically black. I don't think we've had anybody lead a team to a Super Bowl title that comes from a single-parent family, and we don't want to have that discussion. Because it's uncomfortable and it removes race, and it's you can't just blame people for being racist. But this life, including sports, rewards the nuclear family. That was the message I actually took unintentionally from your post.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. And that's, I think, something that conservatives could hopefully write down themselves. We don't just need more babies. We need more families. When you have someone like Caitlin Clark that has both her mom and her dad coming to these games, and she's thanking her parents, not just like we're used to hearing, like you said, Jason, oh man, my biggest idol is my mom. She's been there. And it's some of these single mothers are absolute heroes. They've done some great work, but we're going to change this country by honoring God. The family is a blessing. Children are a blessing. Be fruitful, multiply. We got specific roles that we fill in the traditional family. Men need male role models in the home. There's a lot of things that we're seeing that these athletes are missing because they're trying to get what they can only get from a father from their mother. And you're spot on there. And I think that's what people are starting to realize. If we're going to see true revival in America and in sports, sports is a great reflection and maybe even launching pad for making a difference in culture and society. We start seeing the Jalen Hurts, the Caitlin Clarks, even though obviously there's plenty of things we disagree there, people can start to realize, like, wow, their parents are a huge part of what they're doing here, huge part of the success. That's going to lead to Cooper Flagg saying, you know what, I don't necessarily need to chase the NBA money or the NBA fame. I might just want to stay at Duke for another year. I like it here. NIL money, I'm sure, is real nice. I'm sure his bank account is not struggling, but that could be a testament to his parents. That could be a testament to the way he was raised. That I have a little bit more pride in playing for Duke and staying in college basketball and being a good steward of the legacy of college basketball than I am to just try to chase stuff as an individual.
Well, what Cooper Flagg has the option to do, and someone hop in the chat, email me, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure when I've looked at Cooper Flagg, his parents are still together. Maybe I'm wrong. But what Cooper Flagg has the opportunity to do is properly develop and not be shoved into a microwave. What have we seen for years from the top basketball players or some of these athletes that try to get to professional athletics as soon as possible? Oh, I got to take care of my family. I'm the man in my house. I got to retire my mother. I got to move her to a house and blah, 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 blah. Instead, Cooper Flagg gets to be 19 years old because his mother, I believe, is still married to his father, and he doesn't have that pressure. He doesn't need to leave Duke and have arrested development for himself and take on the responsibility. I got to take care of my mother. I got to take care of my cousins. He comes from a nuclear family. There's a proper level of support. And now he has more options. And now he has the opportunity to fully develop before heading off into that NBA world. And I'm just, that's what the two-parent kids are getting that the single-parent kids aren't. And so when you, at 19, 20, 21 years old, you enter into professional sports, you enter into your professional career, and you have that pressure of not just competing at a high level, but now I'm responsible for my family and extended family and blah, blah, blah. Well, we wonder why some of these guys struggle with leadership. And when I'm talking about the quarterback position or any of this, they got too much pressure on them. They got too many other responsibilities pulling them away. And so a Jalen Hurts, great relationship with his dad, strong family, he can just concentrate on being the best Jalen Hurts that he can be. He didn't come into the NFL saying, oh man, I got to move mama up out the ghetto and buy her a house and, my aunties and uncles. I can just concentrate on my career, and it's a blessing. If you enjoyed that video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe so you never miss a moment of Fearless.